Open Stage would like to acknowledge the Susquehannock peoples, upon whose unceded land we produce this show. Open Stage commits to the work of dismantling the ongoing legacies of settler colonialism and the exclusions and erasures of many indigenous peoples that continue today. At Open Stage, we also believe that Black Lives Matter, and you should too. That belief starts with acknowledging plainly how the systems we depend on often operate as if they don't. We at Open Stage proudly stand united with Black people and communities of color during this movement of unrest and uprising. This show is brought to you by Open Stage, a professional theater company. Check out Open Stage's complete list of shows, all of which are offered completely free this season at openstagehvg.com. Thank you and enjoy the show.
You may shoot me with your words. You may cut me with your eyes. You may kill me with your hatefulness. But still, like life.
I refuse to accept the view that mankind is so tragically bound through the starless midnight of racism and war.
And now put your hands together for the host of Black NewsBeat, Dr. Kimeka Campbell!
Hi, friends! Okay, let's make sure I don't fall. All right. Oh, I made it. Oh, into the seat. Hello, everybody! Okay, well, guess what? You're the only one who said what. Guess what? Yes, it is the last episode of season 3 again. Woo! Well, it has been a wonderful 2023, and here we are celebrating our last show of season 3. Can y'all believe it? 3 seasons down? Wow. I'm so excited. I always want to make sure that, we always try to be as real as possible on the show. So we're retaping the show. It's funny because we were actually, during the first take of this episode, talking about how many song problems we had in 2023. And and guess what? I jinxed it. So we're going to do it again. And we're so glad you are here with us to do it again. Thank y'all. We appreciate y'all. Yeah. So, as I like to do at the top of every show, let's see who's here. Let's see what's going on. Trelawney's here. Trelawney! Hi. John's here. Yeah. It's John's birthday. Oh, John, you didn't tell us that. It's your birthday. Happy birthday to John. Happy birthday to John. Happy birthday to John. Happy birthday to John. Yay! Okay. So it was worth it to do the episode over just to sing John happy birthday. Absolutely. Yeah. All right, who else is over there? Did I miss anybody?
Yeah, Yanni had to go.
Yanni had to go.
Yeah,
but we love you, Yanni.
We love you, Yanni.
Basir's here. Yeah. Oh, Bree's still here. Out in front of house, Finn's here. You gotta make enough noise so that Morgan can hear us. Shout out to Morgan. Morgan, this is Morgan's last show. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so, I think. She said she was going to school or something. But yeah, so I'm hoping. Yeah, so we are happy that we're so loving that Morgan was here with us all this time. We love you, Morgan. Thank you for giving us great drinks the whole time. If that was a surprise, sorry. I don't think it was. Okay, and did we forget anyone? Did we forget anybody? Who? Gibby's here! I tell the story as many shows as I can. The reason, do you know whose fault it is that you guys have a Black NewsBeat? That white guy. He said, you should have a show one day. I was doing a little spot on My Talented Friends Live, which still is one of my favorite shows we've ever done. And he's like, you should have your own show. And at first I thought he was kicking me off his show. And then look, we have a whole show. So we're very thankful for Gib. We love you, Gib, always.
Love you. I sabotaged the last show, so
He
I
did.
can come back.
He did. He stayed home. He got sick on purpose. And so that he could do this. So I'm very excited. So tonight, we are doing something special. We are having tonight our Writers Reminisce. It's actually our second Writers Reminisce, but our first one on air. And we are excited for you guys to meet and talk with the writers tonight. You know all the writers, but you probably don't know them in this capacity. And they've been writing on the show behind the scenes the entire season. They've all been guests on the show. But I want you to hear their process and everything that they put into this. So I'm really excited about that part. In every show, we tell you about what National Day it is. But today, we are celebrating something special. Anybody know what it is? Not Christmas. Happy Joyous Kwanzaa, everyone. Yes, today is the second day of Kwanzaa. The first day of Kwanzaa was yesterday, Umoja, and every day of Kwanzaa there is a different principle, and we're on day 2 today. And today's day is Basir's actual favorite day. It is Kujichagulia. Yes, Kujichagulia. Everybody say it with me. Kujichagulia. No, you didn't do it. I'll do it. Okay, I'll break it down. Kujichagulia. Anybody know what that means? Yes, self-determination, and it is actually my favorite one. I write a little post about Kwanzaa every year, every day for the season. And by the way, before I tell you what my post is about, when does Kwanzaa end? No, January 1st. Thank you. Who knew it? Was John? Yeah. So y'all are. I was gonna say y'all are 0 for 1 because John got it and y'all did it. But yes, Kwanzaa runs for 7 days, and you light a kinara, and the first candle in the middle, the black candle, gets lit on the first day, and then you light the candles going out, alternating sides, until you get to the 7th day. All right? And so today is Kujichagulia, which is self-determination. And self-determination is a principle that is near and dear to my heart because I self-determined this show. Yeah. I self-determined Juneteenth HBG. I self-determined a whole organization to serve Black and brown folks in the region. So things like that, at first people just call me bossy, but I like to call it self-determination. Yeah, very self-determined, very. And it has been a blessing to watch these things flourish. And one of the things I talked about online today was self-determination gives you a direction, and it brings great people along that want to do the work with you. So I'm very thankful, even though I'm focusing on stuff that I've done and things that I am putting into motion, I could never do it without everyone around me, the team, and all the things that are happening, all the people, all the contributions. Could never do it without Basir. So I'm super thankful to be celebrating Kwanzaa. So I hope you'll celebrate too. When you see our post online for Kwanzaa, please chime in, and everyone can celebrate Kwanzaa. It's celebrating, Black and brown determination, and you should be celebrating the people in your lives who are self-determining, making something of themselves, doing the work in your community, because that's what Kwanzaa is all about. It's all about celebrating community and the great things that are happening. All right. Yeah. So it's been a wonderful season, and tonight we're going to walk down memory lane with our writers. It's been such an honor to host this season, and I'm thankful to each of you for taking the journey with us. So I'm just going to call the writers out. I just want you to give them a little warmness because they're all doing their own great projects in addition to writing for this show. So the first person I want to name is probably the newest to the whole team, and that is Marquise Lupton. And boy, does Marquise have some news tonight. I'm not going to spoil it because I wanted to tell us, but I'm so excited I just can't contain it, but he has big news, okay? The second person that I want to shout out tonight is none other than Mr. Writer, Director, Playwright, Paul Hood. Paul is so amazing. He's been on the show before talking about his work. We're going to hear more from him tonight about what he'll be doing as well. And last but definitely not least, we have the poet, the playwright, the educator herself, Maria James Shaw is here. cannot wait for y'all to hear from these. Okay, if you listen, I say it every time I get a chance. If you haven't seen Hair Story, we're going to get that to you soon. Hair Story is one of the most magnificent pieces of work I've ever seen, and I can't wait for y'all to experience it too. So we're going to talk about that. But before that, we got to get to these news pieces. Let's sweep these streets and see what's going on. Well, listen, it has been, as you know, the political year, couple years, 4 years, 5 years. How long has Joe Biden been in office? It seems like he's been in there for 1,000 years. It's been very fraught with tension going back, a long time. I'm just going to say that we'll see what happens with this election, but I'm nervous, y'all. I'm not going to lie. Particularly because justice is on the balance. Black voters are calling for Supreme Court reform. A recent poll reveals that black voters are highly dissatisfied with the U.S. Supreme Court, highly, particularly due to its rulings that affect affirmative action and other civil rights issues. This sentiment reflects a broader perception that the court is reinforcing existing inequalities. I think that's right. I think that's true. The poll conducted by the Just Majority Coalition in partnership with other organizations shows overwhelming opposition among black voters to the Supreme Court's decisions, leading to a loss of confidence in the Supreme Court. Many feel the court prioritizes the needs of the wealthy and powerful over the broader concerns for justice, leading to a strong demand for immediate reforms. And that was the Griot who reported that. And I agree. I feel that the Supreme Court, while I think it's black voters signaling the displeasure, this is happening with women voters, this is happening with young voters, this is happening across the different demographics that are represented in this country, except for one key demographic, and that is white, male, rich folks. They love the Supreme Court right now. It's going great for them. Yeah. So, so we know that while these institutions are important, maybe there is another way to conduct justice in this country that benefits everyone. Let's talk a little bit about Harrisburg and our minority business boom. I don't know if one of the things that I loved about this show over the last year, we have showcased, and we do it every season, but we have showcased so many new up and coming black businesses right here, steps away from where we're sitting in this room. Gibby and I were just talking about Carm before the show, and CR Blooms, which is on 3rd Street. We have the clothing shop that's on 3rd Street. We have the smoothie shop. What's the name of it? Water Health. And what else? What else? Juice Lab, Water Health. What else? Yep, it's coming.
And then the smoothie girl.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is coming. Dallas, I forget her name, her actual business. Is it Juice? No, Juice Lab is on the other side of 3rd Street. Yep. And but that's okay, because we've been showcasing all these different businesses, and now we're experiencing this real, and shout out to Brad at Harristown, actually, because he's really been infusing a lot of different black and brown businesses all up and down of the properties that he owns, and we're seeing them pop up all over Midtown too. Shout out to Got Jerk. That's gonna be, yes, on 2nd Street where the old Ted's was, so that's very exciting. So yes, the minority-owned business boom in the city, as well as the region, continues. Several new businesses are slated to open in the coming year, and we're definitely excited for this new, much-needed renaissance. With the addition of places like Elite Buffet and Tamara's Boutique and all the other ones I named, a lot of folks are relocating from the Broad Street Market. We'll talk about them too. There's no shortage of new places that are going to pop up over this holiday season and into the new year. And if anybody has been by Culture and Commerce Night Market, that is on 4th Street at 4th and Walnut. That's Elise. Shout out to Elise. She does a Friday night market. You guys have got to go hang out there. It is such a vibe. It is so, so fun. And you get to meet a lot of different business owners in a different environment, and it's really, really cool. So you've heard about, and you wanted to, you're hearing about these businesses. You've got to go visit them. So get out over this holiday season. So we've got the Midtown, the downtown area. We're kind of like Capitol Heights-ish area right now. We even have stuff popping up on Allison Hill. The city is big, so please. Oh, we also have, what is it, Cora? We talked about Cora. And we talked on Cameron Street. And we also talked about, what was the one off of Jones? Fire? Something like that. But I went by there, but it's right around the corner from the Deluxe Lounge. It's on Jonestown Road where the Boscovs and all that used to be, where Spirit Halloween pops up every year. And they have, it's like a beautiful, wonderful new lounge/restaurant. It's real nice. So I think it's called Fire Lounge. And so definitely go in there and pop over there and hang out with them. Looking very nice in there. All these are Black-owned businesses that y'all should be definitely patronizing in the city and in the region. Elisa's, by the way, her next night market is January 19th, 2024, but she be having those secret pop-up night markets, so y'all should definitely keep an eye on that. Let's talk, ooh, honey, the news is popping with stories of sexual assaults, and we gotta talk about it, okay? So breaking the silence. Christian Keys shares harrowing tales of Hollywood harassment. Christian Keys, an actor, producer, he shared his experience with sexual harassment in Hollywood via Instagram Live. Did y'all see this? This is crazy. So Christian Keys, he started starring in Tyler Perry plays when they were on what is called the Chitlin Circuit back in the day. He started there, and he is All the Queen's Men, if you guys know that show. He is now telling his story about sexual assault and harassment that he's experienced in Hollywood as a man, as a Black man. He shared his experience in Hollywood via Instagram Live. He was on Instagram for about an hour, and I listened to every minute because I was so surprised to learn that this was happening to him too, because we usually don't think of men experiencing this, even though it is definitely happening, right? And we don't hear the stories of men. I think, a lot of people said Terry Crews walked so he could fly kind of thing. He detailed instances of unwanted advances from powerful industry figures, including one who allegedly tries to climb into bed with him after he was intoxicated. Keys emphasized the challenges he faced in refusing these advances, citing his desire to maintain his integrity and avoid compromising his values for career opportunities. He also mentioned using a recorder to document instances of harassment, but did not reveal the identities of the individuals involved. So Atlanta Black Star reported on this, and a couple other outlets reported on that. So we'll keep watching that because, as he stated, there's more to come on that. And in that same vein, Sean Diddy Combs, amidst a wave of sexual assault allegations, he is such a disappointment. He's such a disappointment. Has temporarily stepped down as chairman of Revolt TV. Thank God. He faces multiple lawsuits, including a recent one alleging he participated in the gang rape of a 17-year-old girl in 2003. These lawsuits fall under New York's Adult Survivors Act, which allows for the filing of cases despite expired statutes of limitations. Combs has vehemently denied the allegations, claiming they are motivated by financial gain and constitute character assassination. His legal woes and the ensuing media attention highlight a broader reckoning around abuser and power within the music and Hollywood industry. And now this one, last one, and I will get off this topic. This one hit home because I was very upset. Rap star under fire, Method Man. Oh no, accused of 90s attack on model Jaden Steele. And I have to be very honest, Method Man is one of my favorites. Method Man, the famous rapper and actor, has been accused by model Jaden Steele of physically attacking her in the 1990s. Steele shared on her story on TikTok, explaining that the incident occurred during her modeling career and involved a very large rapper who is now an actor. She recounted that despite the involvement of police and the destruction of a hotel room during the incident, no police report was filed. She also mentioned that she worked for attorneys who represented the heads of the rapper's record label at the time, which influenced his decision not to pursue the matter further. When asked by a commenter if Method Man was the individual involved, Steele confirmed it was him. However, Method Man has yet to respond to any of these allegations. Very sad. And so you see the pattern here. You see that that there are certain laws that are coming into place. The Adult Survivors Act, we had one similar in Pennsylvania, which allowed for those landmark cases that actually led to Governor Shapiro becoming governor of Pennsylvania, calling into question so many cases with the Catholic Church. So there are so many there are different states are now adopting these different reform laws across the country. So I expect a lot more of this in 2024, unfortunately. This one is quite interesting. Vaulting over controversy. Simone Biles stands by her husband amidst gymnast gaffe. Did y'all hear about this one? So allegedly, Simone Biles' husband claims he did not know, never heard of Simone Biles before they met. Okay, sir. Not even his interviewers believe that. Simone Biles recently defended her husband, Jonathan Owens, amid controversy following his comments on a podcast. Owens claimed he was the catch in their relationship and was unaware of Biles' gymnastic achievements before they met. However, the internet does not disappoint. Fans unearthed Owens' tweets about gymnastics, notably praising Gabby Douglas, a teammate of Biles during the 2012 Olympics. This discovery has led to questions about the truthfulness of his claim of not knowing Biles or being aware of gymnastics before their relationship. So it made a lot of waves because people were like, wait a minute. First of all, how do you not know who Simone Biles is? She's the most decorated gymnast on earth of all time. How do you not know who that is? And second of all, when asked, so the interviewer starts saying, well, how did you bag Simone Biles? And he said, well, how did she bag me? That's how it started. And actually, to give props to the young man, the overall interview was really good. But I do want to say that I need this second string free safety to shut his light-skinned ass up. Okay. Woo! Well, we made it through the first segment, barely, but we got here. So we have had a very interesting, this is where I usually do upcoming events. But I want to do a recap of events because we actually don't have more events coming up for a while. We're taking a break with YPOC, especially in the coming new year, but we can talk about what's coming up for season 4 and what's coming up with Open Stage. If you missed the wonderful array of performances and musicals and plays that Open Stage have for the holiday season, oh, it was missed. I am sad to report that I was in and out of town for the last week and a half, so I missed my favorite Who's Holiday. Oh, I'm so sad. It is such a great, did anybody get to see Who's Holiday in here? Yes, of course Gib did. He also directed it. He's also there. But it is such a wonderful performance. Gib, what's coming up for Open Stage?
The next thing that is coming up is the teen production of the musical Mean Girls.
Yes, I'm excited about that. Yep, that's going to be good. Yeah. Mean Girls is going to be amazing.
And that's directed by Rachel Landon.
Yes. Who was the star of Who's Holiday. Yes.
And then what we're all real excited about is they are just starting rehearsals for Sweeney Todd.
Yes, Sweeney Todd's coming up. So that's going to be really good.
That's going to have an incredible cast.
Yes, it is.
Including Rachel Landon and Stacey
So
Turner.
So what you're telling me is Rachel Landon's a star, is what you're saying.
She is. She's a talented.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is. She's also Gibby's wife. So.
I hadn't heard of her before.
Yeah. I remember you telling me that story. So I mean, she's big. She's big on the scene. Also, here at Open Stage on New Year's Eve, they will be singing in the new year at 9 p.m. starting at 9 p.m. So definitely come and check that out and keep up to date with what's going on the website and on their Facebook page, OpenStageHBG.com, and just Open Stage on Facebook. Please check it out. Always a great time at Open Stage. We're very thankful to have the show here, as I always say. Our holiday party was amazing, guys. YPOC's holiday party was off the chain. If you missed it, you were missing. Our Juneteenth HBG kickoff was amazing. You'll be getting thank you letters if you came to that this week. Bree stopped in. Thank you, Bree. I appreciate you. And a couple other folks in here. Marquise was there. Anybody else was there? Who did I miss? Trelawney helped set up. So Trelawney was there. Maria came. She came kind of late. I'm not going to tell you. Not going to mention it. You know what I'm saying? No, but it was a wonderful time. The crowd was amazing. We really wanted to thank our sponsors and big supporters of Juneteenth, and it was a wonderful time. So please we're going to keep talking about it on the show. So please come and hang out with us for Juneteenth, but get involved earlier in the planning process and being a part of that great work. It's an awesome work. We form a Juneteenth collaborative that really reverberates throughout the community and reinforces the bonds that we are making across all the different types of work that we do. So please come hang out with us for that, for sure. And then, what was I going to say? Last but not least, something. Oh, guess what's in February? Yes, Valentine's Day. What else? Black History Month. Anybody else? That's January. January, MLK Day is coming up. Please look out for MLK 365 for all of the different events and please volunteer on that day. You know, Black people take a rest, white people volunteer. What? Did you hear that? I didn't hear that. Yeah, there's something else coming up in February. The start of season 4? The start of season 4, and it is a star-studded affair. All right? It's our anniversary show. It is the start of season 4. It's the season where the month where we started the show. We started it on Black History Month on purpose because, you know, history, right? We want you to come decked out. I'm going to be dressed up. I already have my dress, okay? We bring everyone back. We have musical guests, so we want you to come hang out with us. That's going to be the last show in February. It's going to be the season 4 start and the Black NewsBeat anniversary celebration. Yeah, all right. So I am so pleased. I want to keep us moving along. I am so excited to sit down with our writers and chat. So let's get to it. I'll see y'all in a second. Fancy meeting everyone here. I am pleased to have our writers back on the show for our Writers Reminisce. Hi, everybody. Hey. Hello. I'm so excited. This is a dream team of writers. Like, I cannot afford them, but I try my best. You know what I'm saying? It has been a wonderful, wonderful season 3. And it's all because of y'all. Thanks, you guys. Appreciate y'all.
Thanks for having
us. So let's get into it. First, I want you to introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about y'all. And we'll start with Maria. Tell me, who are you?
Maria James Chow. I've lived in the Harrisburg area forever.
Wow.
For a long time. And I write all kinds of stuff, yes. But I'm especially known for poetry,
yes.
Right? And poetry and choreo poems, yes. Plays in poetic form for the stage.
That's amazing. Mm-hmm. Well, welcome to the stage, Maria.
Thank
you've been
you.
here before, but welcome back to the stage.
Yes, yeah. Thank you.
Who are you? Who's this guy here with the shiny chocolate?
Who am I?
Chocolate head. Yes, who are you?
Actually, I'm Paul Hood. I'm a writer, director, playwright, photographer,
actor.
Yeah, I kind of dabble in the arts a little bit.
Tiny bit.
So I'm from Harrisburg. I moved here from Middletown, which is to me is Harrisburg anyway. So sorry. But yeah, so I grew up on the Hill. Shout out to all my homies from class of '92 Harrisburg High. Yeah, you clap.
But don't forget Arts Magnets.
Oh, well, in the Arts Magnets, well, that's included. But yeah, so I've known Maria since I was like, what, 17, 18? So,
Wow.
yeah, and so yeah, that's me, and thank you for having us back.
It is my pleasure. And who's this guy?
Hello, everybody. Good evening. My name is Marquise Lupton. I am the co-host and producer of The Spark, and host, and along with Dr. Kimeka Campbell of the Melanin Report, also through WITF NPR. Glad to be here.
Woo!
Glad to be part of the team.
As I said, dream team writing team here. This is a dream. So of course this is a Writer's Reminisce, so I want to first kind of like take a walk down memory lane. Let's talk, so we're in community engagement, so let's talk about what some of our favorite community engagement business owners, community like figures, what some of our favorite guests were from that lens on the show so far.
When I think back, I really, one guest that stands out to me, there was a young lady that owns a cooking school. Like she was.
Oh, Maisha.
Yes.
Maisha,
yes.
Mm-hmm.
I was so impressed with her.
Yeah, she's amazing.
And I keep telling my son that we need to send him to Miss Maisha because
yes, absolutely.
Otherwise he's going to burn my house down. But that's a whole other story.
Yeah, she was really dead. Oh my God, that was the same night you were on the show, right? Maisha was on that night.
Oh, maybe it was.
I think so. And she's got the locks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She is amazing. She does catering in the area. She's catered for big companies like UPMC and smaller ventures like Elisa's Last Supper. She catered her very first Valentine's event that she created. She catered and produced this wonderful Valentine's event over in New Cumberland. She is a multi-hyphenate, actually, and she's extremely talented in the kitchen. She cooked for our Juneteenth hospitality services for our artists.
Yes.
And the guys from High Five fell in love. They wanted to take her home. They were like, how do we take you with us on the road? Because they were going in the van, and they were like, come on, let me just take you back with us. So, yeah, she's amazing.
Yeah, and I'm always impressed with the different types of businesses and nonprofits and things, when the guests that you bring in, and just doing the research for the show, I learned so much. But how'd they do that?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the one thing I like, is the learning that's happening for me, and I think for everyone else all the time. Yeah, for sure. Paul, what about you?
Oh, wow. We've had a lot of great guests, but one that stuck out to me was Claudia Kenyon, the trainer, fighter. He just, I don't know, I like the stories about people coming back from, like, you know, very trying circumstances.
Yes, absolutely.
And, you know, he was incarcerated. He came out and he turned his life around, and he started helping young youth, well, youth in the Harrisburg area. And the night he was here, he brought all of his students here.
Oh my gosh!
And
all
their energy was like so amazing.
It was beautiful.
Yeah, and it was a really emotional night for everybody.
It was.
Everybody was crying. Kamika was crying.
It was a lot.
Everybody was
think about it.
in tears. Yeah. So.
Claudia is a newly minted USA boxing coach for Team USA.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, give it up.
And he started his own business, Fit 365. He is our trainer in the mornings for boot camp. He completely turned his life around, came off parole last December. So he's been off of parole for a year, returned to the community. One of those success stories that you see, especially in Pennsylvania, in Central Pennsylvania, we know that recidivism among Black males is sky high. So to see Claudia truly turn his life around, I know gives hope to so many people who think that it may not be possible.
Yeah,
so
it was good to see, you know, our young people pointed out in a positive light.
Yes.
Because, you know, let's be real, a lot of Harrisburg kids get a bad rap. Well, the city gets a bad rap.
Yes, which Paul hates.
Yeah.
It's Paul. So I would like to tell this story. Paul for the first, pretty much the whole year, not the first. I was going to say I went back and looked because I said the first part of the year, the entire year. Just Paul's like, y'all want to talk about Harrisburg again? And every single, y'all always got something to say about Harrisburg. Like it was great.
Because I used to be one of those.
That's right.
People that I always wanted to leave and move to a bigger market. Especially being a writer.
Yes. And
I was like, look, I can make my life here, and so far it's been great because I get to work with people like you.
Absolutely.
This group right here.
Yeah. It has been so interesting seeing the different folks come through this show for this segment. I'm just thinking back. I'm curious to hear Marquise's favorite, one of many, but favorite segment for community engagement.
One that sticks out was on the conversation with Winnie O.
Yes.
Yes. About environmental justice
yes.
and
that was
environmental racism. Like my mind was blown because I never looked at racism on that front.
Yeah.
But just hearing about it and hearing her express it, and then also hearing what really made me open my eyes was just she was willing to let people know the details and the connection to funds to help out your situation.
Yes.
That level of transparency, that's typically something that you don't hear.
Absolutely.
And to me, that was like breaking news on Black News.
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
So it was multifaceted, but what really hit home was like, of course there's going to be racism in the environment and how officials navigate through that. And I pride myself on, I know these things, I'm woke and everything like that, but that whole environmental part of it just flabbergasted me, and I was like, oh man, let me go back to school.
Oh, 100%. 100%. We've been fortunate to have so many different types of guests. Winnie is actually the statewide coordinator for the newly minted Office of Environmental Justice for the state of Pennsylvania. So this is now her job, but it's been something she's been passionate about for a long time. So again, having that caliber, that level of guests on our show is again something that we, I don't know, it's happening, but when it happens, you're like, oh my gosh, we are having some heavy hitters on the show.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's exciting to me.
And then to offer that space, where like this isn't like a 2-minute soundbite, this isn't a 30, 45 second story, but for you to offer that space and to get into those details.
Yeah. Thank you. All of them, I just want to say, all of you are my favorite, but the one that stands out to me, I think, the most was the night, I think it was your show night too. That was a great segment. But we had one of our friends, a friend was on the board of YPOC, Sharina Johnson, who started a company for folks who struggle with addiction and helping them. Sharina's also a veteran, helping them turn their lives around. And she's sitting here telling me the story of her life and how she struggled, and how Basir had been helping her the entire time, coaching her through one of the hardest transitions that she ever had. And all I knew, they were meeting, and he was doing life coaching with her. I didn't know what was going on. One, because Basir's a lockbox, and he's just confidential like that. And I just remember, I sat there listening to Sharina, and I was like, oh my God, all of that was happening, and knowing that Basir was there for her, knowing that she was doing good now. She just got a $100,000 grant to do her program, and it was just such a full circle moment. And I was discovering it in real time on the show. Some major aspects of it. So that was very moving. My other favorite, I think, was having
Commissioner George Hardwick on the show. That was another night. But he politicians, a lot of politicians come on the show, political hopefuls. And I told him this before. When I first met George Hardwick, I didn't like him, okay? And him coming on the show and talking about the work that he does, particularly around drug addiction and trying in this county to infuse funds into programs that help people who are suffering. That was around the time that we had, I think it was 18 overdoses in the county in a short period of time. And just talking through, some of the efforts on the county level that I didn't even know were happening. So that's another favorite. Pretty serious, but I think the community engagement segment for me did that. It brought these serious, pivotal, exactly, issues to light that, I don't know, rock my world. Like I'm sitting here feeling the feelings again, because I'm just like, man, like we covered so much. We covered so much. Yeah, happy about that. Okay, so let's get into like maybe some snafus. Never. What are some surprising moments for you guys on the show? Things that maybe went awry, that happened, that you were surprised at. Call them surprises.
The sound.
Yeah, I was about to say the last episode.
Can I just say, we practiced.
We did.
We practiced like 4 or 5 times singing. We sang. We sang
Live. We thought it was captured.
Like, I mean, sang our behinds off.
Sang our behinds off.
I mean, Patti LaBelle sat up and was like, what?
She did. Whitney was fanning us off around it.
I know. White hankies from heaven
all of
and
it.
everything.
Throwing shoes. I felt a shoe. It came down. We'll think about it. We got a me. We'll think about it. But yeah, that was a really good. That episode was good because it just was. But sound has been our arch nemesis the entire year. Like since we started in the studio, and
because this is not a TV studio.
No, yeah,
this is a theater.
It's a theater. We're pretending to be a TV studio, so it's always been precarious. But remember when we were streaming live and it would crash in the middle of the show? That was fun. So we stopped streaming live, thinking that would fix a lot of it, but we still had some ups and downs. But the between Pro Presenter doing whatever it wants to do, the only person knowing how to really actually work it is probably Mr. Wayne most of the time. And Bree too, and now Basir sat down one day and was like, I don't know how to work it like in 5 minutes.
That's Basir.
Yeah, that's Basir, the engineer mind that he has. But I will say, even with all those sound snafus, it's been a wonderful learning experience. I remember the time when the kids, my favorite snafu night was when the kids were here. John Trey's summer program kids were here, and everything on earth was going wrong. It was bananas.
Let me show you how to do TV. Everything.
That's actually how you learn it, though.
That's literally how you learn it.
That's how you learn.
They had a fabulous time. They thought it was so action-packed, Yeah, it was crazy.
The wild thing is, I'm sorry, Marquise. The wild thing is that we were on our group chat, and Marquise was like, "Yo, let's run it back," and I was like, "Yeah." And there was no there was a moment when I was like, "Can we capture the same energy?"
Yeah.
But I know when we get together, it's always vibes like that.
Always vibes like that.
So it's just
always like that. Like he said, run it back, and I'm like, of course we can do that. Yes, it was. We're thankful that Marquise is there because I was just sad. I was like, so my angle is I wasted everybody's time. I felt so bad, but it was a good time anyway. It was a really good time. It was really fun.
Yeah, Sunday mornings, Sunday afternoons, however you want to, package it. Like I look forward to that.
Yeah, really fun.
Because like the interaction and everything, the camaraderie. the love and everything. Like I said this last show, and I was thinking about, all right, well, how am I going to input
Put it in there.
Right, right, and boom, segue. It's great. I moved up here. I moved to Harrisburg, partly because of this connection right here, because like it was just so genuine, and I, honestly, you know, being a little skinny black kid from Lancaster, you know, this was the community that I was looking for. You know, and I was so excited and so just, you know, enamored. I wanted my family to experience this as well.
Yeah, yeah. So we're counting Marquise as a Black NewsBeat hire and move and hire to Harrisburg.
Yeah.
It's our first one.
Yeah.
And what's funny is I remember when you guys came up to visit the show. First they came to visit. They just like popped up. We're coming tonight. I was like, to me, they're celebrities, to me. It's right, TCP in the morning, the Culture Professional, the news show. So they're coming to visit us. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, they're coming to visit us? This is crazy. Then when we went to visit them, me, you, and Bree went to visit. Shout out to Bree, by the way. Bree's one of my favorite parts of the show. And do you see these? That made me look so official. This was Bree's idea, actually. Like, Bree, between all of us, but Bree made it materialize for us. So thank you. And is generally just good at almost everything. So, and I say almost because I'm a little jealous, so that's a little bit of a hater in the almost. Pretty much everything. So they came to visit. We went to visit them, and then we had them on the show. And I remember going, man, wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it be? Must be nice. Wouldn't it be nice to have folks like that in Harrisburg? And look. And look, from I think that was season 1 or 2 to now, yeah, they're here. You guys are here.
Yeah, we're here.
That's amazing. Sarge is, Sarge declared his acting career that year, and boom, Sarge is one of the other co-hosts of the now retired, which y'all should bring it back though, the Culture Professional news show in the morning, because that was lit. That was really amazing. And I remember we went down to visit, and they're like, come on camera, because I thought I was in the Black NewsBeat, so I was in the audience talking, obviously. And they were like, no, come on, get on camera, let's get on. And they put me on camera right then and there. But now we have Marquise here, and I think this is a good time to tell the news.
All right. Yeah. All right.
I promised big news, and I was serious about that. So, Marquise.
All right. Well, with the Cultured Professional, one of the reasons why we retired it was because I started working at WITF on the weekends, and then from the weekends and moved to the weekday, and then fast forward to a couple weeks ago, Scott Lamar, who is the host of The Spark, he announced his retirement, and I will be his replacement. So. Thank you.
Woo! Yes. Again, breaking news on the Black NewsBeat. Okay,
Yeah,
we already put it on the
right.
Shakeless page, but still, it's, and he's a writer on the show. I mean, just amazing. So that's the big news. You heard it here first or second, but first we're gonna say, right? And we are so thankful to have you, all of you, on this show. We are very thankful to have Marquise. We're very thankful to have Paul and Maria. Okay, let's keep going, because I'm just going to be more thankful and more cryy. It's working the same way. Okay, so let's get into your processes. So just so you know who does what, Maria does the questions. They're always spicy, and that's my favorite. And I'll show the guests and be like, all right, Maria wrote this, okay? Just in case they're like, I'm not saying it, but no guest has ever been like, well, they've never been like, well, I don't want to say. Every spicy question they've answered. So that's been great. And then Paul usually does our Sweeping the Street segments, even though he likes to also dive into the current media and melanin. He likes that. And then Marquise, same thing. They kind of do a little bit of each, but he focuses more on the media and melanin, which is our black and brown entertainment pieces. So tell us a little bit about why you wanted to work on the show. Like, why did you say yes to this crazy lady? And what your process is like.
Okay, so I really enjoyed coming to the show. My friends invited me, and I just thought it was a great vibe and exactly what we need in Harrisburg. So I just love that. And I'm a communications major, you know, Shippensburg University.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I've always like, this is like dreamy, you know? And so when you asked me, I didn't hesitate. I was excited to do that. My job is probably easier than theirs.
Yeah.
And I as she said, I write the questions, and so it may involve a little bit of research because nobody fully fills out the,
Ever.
the
They never do.
information.
If you are
So
a
it's
guest
like-
on the show, please fill out the form. They be like, ask me anything. Okay, because Maria's gonna write you a spicy question.
Yeah, because for real, if I just like, you better be careful, know what Google says about you, because that's what they're going off of. Why in 1998
That
were you
part.
seen?
What do you want to talk about on the show? Whatever you want. Okay, because Maria's writing the what? I had to go back to somebody else like, listen, I just want to make sure you do actually mean whatever we want because Maria's writing the questions. Just want you to know. They're like, Maria who? Maria James Chow. Oh, I'll submit another form. Okay.
Yeah, but I really enjoy that, and I get to know a lot about the different business owners and people in our
Yeah.
community. So I really enjoy it.
Absolutely.
Well, I wanted to be part of something bigger than myself. You know, I know that sounds cheesy, but that's it. I just wanted to be a part of a team of really awesome people, not just as writers and artists, just awesome people, and vibe and talk about some of the things that are happening in this city that I now root for.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
Yeah, we all need to root for Harrisburg, and we need to.
But he was really mad at y'all for the whole season.
Yeah, I was a little heated, but but yeah, a good way to express myself other than just creative writing.
Yeah.
And talk about some of the things that I felt were going on in the community, and trying to make be part of the change instead of the complaints. So yeah, it gave me another outlet, and I get to be around dope people. So
Facts. Big facts.
For myself, I look at this as the future of entertainment, as the future of the digital space, as the future of the audio space, as the future of the video space. This right here, it's very impressive, and to be a part of this team, yes, 10 times over, whatever I can do, the little bit of skills that I can have to help propel this thing, to where it needs to be, so that people can be informed and entertained at the same time. You are one of the folks that are doing it the right way, and if I can help and be supportive of that, like I said, 10 out of 10 all the way.
Listen, I appreciate that so much. I literally texted him thinking, he's busy. He's like a big time writer and producer and show engineer at WITF, and he's not gonna have time. And I don't think I even got the text all the way sent. And he was like, "Yup, I'm there. What we doing?" I was like, "Yeah!" It was so great. So that's always really it's so encouraging. Okay. So we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to come back and talk about culture and creativity, and then we're also going to talk about a couple other things, a couple new projects that our guests have coming up. You heard some big news, so we'll tap them for some great things they have going on. So we'll see you in a second. We'll be right back.
99 Characters Entertainment can help you showcase your talents by offering our services and bookings, photography, flyers, logos, jewelry, broadcasting time, and anything else the modern content creators.
Fuck with me, I'm Mr. 1 Floor. If y'all don't know me, y'all will. Trust the fuck out of me on that.
Mr. 1 Floor said fuck us if we don't know him.
Y'all know him?
Yeah.
Y'all know him now, huh? Yo, that's the fuck, right? Hey, yo.
And we're back with our writers for our Writers Reminisce. We have been having a good time, I would say.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all been having a good time? Yeah. Okay. So let's keep it moving. Now we're, technically in the second segment of the show. And if you guys don't know, the show's broken out by my monologue, Sweeping the Streets, and then we have community engagement, and then we have culture and creativity, and then we have Last Lap. So that's kind of how we always break out the show. That was I think that's what I pitched to you, Gib, 2020? That's not real. That's not a real year. That wasn't a real year. It wasn't. But that was when it happened. It was the fake ass year of 2020. But I pitched him this idea for the show and the segments and things. Cody Burt was one of the original folks. Julia Mallory, original writers. Those were the two first writers on the Black News Beat. And now we've got a whole new crop of writers, which is so exciting to me. But yeah, so culture and creativity has been a very interesting segment. Going through all the first 2 seasons where we had a lot more textile arts. I just want to know if you guys have a favorite culture and creativity guest. I have mine, but I want to know about yours. So.
I think I'm my favorite.
It was a great show. It
wasn't just me. It was.
Ro was there.
Yep. The representing Hair Story, Reclaiming Our Crown,
which is again one of the best choreo poem plays. Not just best choreo poem, not just best play, but best theatrical thing I've seen in a long time. I always compare it to the Vagina Monologues because of the short story format, but it's better than the Vagina Monologues. And I mean that with everything that I have.
Thank you so much. And
Absolutely.
all your support has been wonderful. And that particular show, we had Alana Cornish performed a piece. And
Amazing.
she was brilliant.
Amazing.
Brilliant and beautiful. Yes. And then had representatives from the Lynx.
Yes.
Miss Sybil Knight Burney.
Yes, that's right.
Yep. And then Ro as the director of Hair Story. So, and just to talk about the writing process and what it's about, what it meant to us and to the community and the audiences, it was really, really great.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think my two favorite culture and creativity performances were the dance performances. Natalie Dolman and Sierra Woods.
Yes.
Those were so amazing. Sierra tore this place up.
Yeah.
And Natalie, she did this beautiful piece that she had kind of created and that was mixing a couple genres. Natalie had a whole multimedia dance performance going, and it was so fascinating to watch that happening on the Black News Beat after, we had just, told jokes and had stories and things, and had these interviews, but then to see them just in their element and owning the space in such a different way, it was really amazing. It was really amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I actually really enjoyed a lot of the musical guests we had.
Love.
Now, I'm not going to remember names.
That's okay. I'll remember for you.
I just remember it was a nice, because we have a very vibrant art scene in general.
We do.
The live music scene in Harrisburg, just on the original side, is amazing to me. So being able to showcase a lot of those artists here in hip hop, R&B,
rap,
all over, just all the genres, and it's nice to see that part of the city because that's what people think we don't have.
Absolutely right.
And then
that's
we get
exactly
to showcase
right.
it. And, it's and just all the shout outs to the arts community as far as on the theater side. We had Frank Henley on.
Yes.
Who's a friend of mine, a good friend of mine, Narcisse Theater Company. You allowed him to use the space to push his new venue right here in Soma.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so yeah.
Right as it was opening up.
Yes.
Wow,
yes.
That was before. That was in May.
Yeah.
The first Black-owned.
The first
theater
in
Harrisburg.
Yes. And one of the first things that he did at his theater was our Juneteenth Black Performance and Arts musical showcase.
That's right.
Which was phenomenal. It was out of this world.
Yes, and that's when I introduced to Kimeka There's Nothing to Do in Harrisburg.
That's right.
segment.
That's right. Because he was really mad that y'all kept saying, not y'all in the audience, but the other people kept saying that there's nothing to do in Harrisburg. So he said, we're going to name this segment, Ain't Nothing to Do in Harrisburg. Ain't nothing to do in Harrisburg. Yeah.
It was a joke, and then Kimeka was like, no, I think I said to you, I was like, that has to be.
It has to be something
and
we
Kimeka
do.
was like, you're right.
Absolutely.
And it took off, so yeah.
It
There's
was
really nothing to do here.
It's nothing to do at all.
And that night had comedians,
Yes.
had Hair Story, had
That was a beautiful night.
music, had everything.
That Black Performance Arts and Music Showcase was probably my second favorite, besides the concert, with conference. There's a lot to do for Juneteenth, but that was one of our newer styled events, and it was just, if you missed it, you were missing, because it was crazy fun. There was a dance party after, because it was just so successful that people were feeling it and stayed out. There was a young piano prodigy. Isaiah played 3 pieces, and from memory, he had one of his pieces, he went like this, and I swear to goodness, I don't know what could have been on this paper that made him play like this, but he had a piece of paper like this that he opened up. And he put on the piano stand like this and started playing. And I was like, ain't no way whatever he's playing is on that paper. There's no way. There's no way. And we were just like, oh my God. His mom was in front, and she was so proud. And she was just like, I mean, you should have seen the way that the response that we gave him, like you could see him. You ever see you ever see those like time lapses of flowers that are blooming? That is what Isaiah looked like. He was like nervous and didn't know what he was gonna do. And when I tell you, we cheered him on, like people were in tears. People cheered him on. They were so excited, and you could just see him open and blossom up. And it was probably one of my favorite moments of the week. It was so beautiful. It was so beautiful. That whole night, gorgeous. Yeah. And then he did Fringe after that. And I think that first 3 to 6 months, that theater was just, for something that just opened, packed the whole, every day, every night, every show. And I'm happy to announce that Young Professionals of Color, Greater Harrisburg, is the title sponsor for American Son that is coming up for Black History Month. If you've never seen the play American Son, now is your opportunity. There was an adaptation of it on Netflix with Kerry Washington. It's been on Broadway or off Broadway, something like that. But it's had many runs around the country. And I'm also really excited that Frank even entertains any of my foolish ideas because he is already in the works for planning Juneteenth, the Juneteenth showcase with DeJuan Dixon, who is the co-chair of that event. So it's going to be a pop in 2024, obviously. Obviously. Okay, let's see. Marquise?
One of my favorite moments on the show was actually when Basir was the host.
Oh, yeah!
That was, seeing that dynamic, and
That
then
was
to see the homie step up because your voice was a little, it was a little hoarse.
Y'all didn't know, but he yelled at me in the middle, like, you're not supposed to be talking at one of the commercials. He also tried to take my job. He was really good. I went back and watched the episode. I was like, oh, we're so cute.
It was like look, at least once a quarter for 2024. Don't want to push, but I want to push. Because that dynamic, it just adds like the show dynamic is great. It's just little sprinkle on top.
It was
great. It was great.
Sprinkle Bay in there, and it just gets better. It was really fun. That was really, 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 really fun. That was a fun show. Oh, that was such a fun show. I'm like remembering. That was such a fun show. Christian CA sang that episode.
Yes.
That was
Powerful.
crazy. That was crazy. Wow. We sat here like this. We were like, what did you say, Trelawney? He did. Like literally, like in an interview, he was like, I was like, you want to sing this little something? He was like, yep. And opera sang it for us, and it was phenomenal. It was phenomenal. He was showcasing the holiday show that they had. That was crazy. Wow, we got a lot of good stuff on here.
Oh yeah.
Wow. Okay, so let's see. What other questions do I have? Favorite moment? We check. Check. Okay, so let's talk about so I have two leading into the last question. All right, because I'm not gonna keep you all night. I want to know if you had a dream segment. I'm bringing this on them new. If you had a dream segment to be on the show, anything you wanted in the whole wide world, what would it be?
Anything?
Anything.
I would like to see you do an interview with Oprah and Gail.
I would love that. I would love that.
And get into the meat and potatoes of the meat and potatoes.
Okay. Because we all want to know.
That's right. What is a Stedman?
What is the Stedman? And how do we reproduce such Stedmans in society?
Because when you posted that picture, I was like, she has a point.
So I reposted a picture from Oprah's page from her Merry Christmas post, and it said, Gail's a real spouse, and I'm here for it. Because Stedman was in the back.
Behind somebody.
You could see half his face. It was like this much of his face. Stedman was like this. And Gail and Oprah in the front like this.
Front and center.
Hey. And I was like, Gail's a real spouse, period. She's the best friend. She's the real spouse. She's the one. And it was a very beautiful picture, a holiday picture. But yes, if we could do that.
Because that picture, Stedman was like, I'm around.
I'm around. Like, if Maria was in front of me like this, he was like, it was interesting. It was interesting. Yeah, I would love that.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
With Maria's questions, yeah.
Oh, with some salacious Maria questions? Yes. Absolutely.
It's 2024. Yeah. Why not come out?
Why not? Why not?
Right. When y'all coming out?
Why not? Give the people hope. You know what I'm saying? Yes.
So I have two.
He always has good ideas, so I'm dying to hear these.
So one would be, I would love to see some of the more controversial figures in the city.
Ooh!
On the show.
Yeah.
In the hot seat, per se.
Yes.
And this is something totally different. I want to do a segment where we feature local comedians.
That I would love to do that. Oh yeah, that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, just give them like 2 or 3 minutes.
Yes.
Which is, that's never set, I think.
Yeah,
3 minutes.
it is now. Myself and Gibby went to a comedy. What was it?
It was at 0 Day Tap Room.
Yes.
On 3rd Street. And,
I missed that show.
It was pretty good.
It's a monthly thing now.
Good.
And he brought up a good lineup.
He certainly did.
Really did, yeah.
It was very good.
So
maybe we can tap a couple of those folks or whoever.
Folks and see if we can coordinate it.
And the open mic after.
Yes.
And they were funny too.
And we should give him a good show.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
He took that all together.
Who was it?
Malik. He's
He did. That's right. Yes.
Let's
Malik. Yes.
We gotta do started something.
Yeah, we
see Paul with the ideas.
Always.
Look, that's what I do. Can I say this? Yo, I start shit.
Period, Paul. Start some so there will be some. Amen. Yes. Amen. Okay.
Well, my idea was like kind of piggybacking on that was again about comedy, and I always like I'm watching the news or something, and I just get these ideas like that's an SNL skit right there. Sometimes I think about writing little skits about crazy stuff going on.
I would love to do like an SNL type sketch.
Sketch comedy show. You know what I mean?
If only we had some people who could write something.
I wonder. I wonder who could do that.
Who could possibly
do something like that?
That would be fun.
Was that both of your ideas? You said you had 2.
Yeah, that was it. That was
all right.
Comedy and controversial.
Who would be a controversial figure? I'm wondering now.
Mayor Williams.
Where's Wanda?
Now y'all know Mayor Williams is not coming on this show.
That's the thing. We have to. She
don't even like me like that.
That's what I'm.
Okay.
That's
what?
That's
who?
Look, If
Y'all
they
want
don't,
me to sit across from Matt Maisel. That's what you want from me,
Yes.
Brandon?
Let's-
He doesn't like Brandon doesn't like me.
Marvelous
He don't.
Mr. Maisel.
look, if they say, "Oh well, I don't care for Dr. Kim," have him on the show. Like
They're not coming. But I mean, we'll ask them. We'll ask them.
we'll get him on the show.
We'll get him on the
Let's
show.
get him on the
Oh.
show. Let's get these people.
You have to shame.
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta shame them onto the show.
Onto the show, yeah.
Like,
I remember. Do you guys remember when Wanda was running for mayor and Pappenfuse was running as well, and we got into that argument online? It was at. So
We need
this
to have
was
the arguments in here,
in the studio.
in this space, so we can start-
Listen, I think Z-Way has this market cornered, but we can try, you know, because I'm going to just cuss and walk off the stage. This is what happens. Y'all overestimate me, I should say, a lot. So,
But yeah, I think if we start raising the stakes.
Okay,
And,
I'm with it.
you
Long as
know,
y'all
I
got
think
my
we can
back.
do
Y'all
it.
got my back?
Yeah.
All right. We can raise some stakes. We can raise some stakes.
And also get some people in here that can make us laugh. And,
Yeah, I like
you know,
that.
kind of
balance it out a little bit.
balance it out.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
People expect me to be controversial on the show, and I never am, which is funny because it's such a love fest all the time. Now I'll tell you one of the most surprising times. Poor thing, because I'm about to tell her the behind the scenes. She's gonna see it on the show. We had maybe I won't say her name, but we had a politician, a political hopeful on the show, and they got up here and talked about how they relate, because it's a black news beat. So how did they relate to black people? They talked about how lie heap and food
Oh,
stamps.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that night.
It was crazy. And they were very proud. They're like, I too have been on lie heap. And I said, oh, tell me more. I basically was like, oh, okay. Yeah, and I know what it's like to struggle, like black people do, you know what I'm saying? Now I'm paraphrasing, but that was the sentiment. And I remember that's when we were streaming the show still. Remember that? Yeah. And before I got home, people had cut it and sent it to me like, yeah, this is the one right here. I'm glad you asked these questions. So I was like, listen, I didn't do anything. All I said was, tell me more. That's part of the reason why I don't want to be too controversial on the show, because I want people to talk. I want them to talk. Because when you talk, you tell on yourself, and I'm always for that. You know what I'm saying? As a talker, I know when you talk, you tell on yourself. Good or bad, you tell on yourself.
Here's your shovel.
Yes, here's your dig it, honey. Dig the hole. I'm not going to say that, they lost because they came on the show, but I'm just saying it wasn't a good look. People cut that thing up. And what was funny, and this shall also remain nameless, I did a forum. And if you dig deep enough, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. So just follow the dots, okay? Connect the dots. I'm giving you all the pieces. So they heard about a certain politician who also shall remain nameless, was on we did a community forum. And the community forum was talking about how people treat Harrisburg voters. We got into this. And when some of the districting changed in the city, there were a certain group of folks who were like, well, it doesn't matter because Harrisburg doesn't vote no way, so we can have our pick of a representative.
We vote, don't we?
And we do?
Give it up. Yep,
Okay.
we vote.
Do we vote? Yeah. Okay. And that was only Gib clapping. Fine. I vote twice. That's right. That's not voter fraud. He votes in every election is what he meant. So this person had the nerve to confront someone who was on that panel and be like, did you say that the West Shore was racist? Uh-huh. And it was interesting because what the person said, the person was particularly referencing the sentiment that Harrisburg doesn't vote. So changing up the districts, right, would not matter because Harrisburg doesn't vote. And I want y'all to know, I don't know how many times I can say this. Voting comes into every one of my shows. I don't know how many ways, times, and how many colors, how I can dress it up, dress it down. Your vote matters. Your vote matters. Yes. When I tell you that people are depending on the fact that they think black and brown Harrisburg doesn't vote so they can get whatever representative they want, they can get whatever persons they want, they can get whatever they want because they're like, oh, those black people over there, they don't vote. So, yeah.
that was the same person on the show. So they were like, I just want to make sure I didn't understand that you didn't say we were racist. Now, the person didn't actually say that. They said there were racist undertones of how people were talking about Harrisburgians. And that was true, because I heard that sentiment over and over again. But I just want to say, coming on this show, being a part of the show, I'm not going to say we are kingmakers, but I do want to say that we inform people about the elections and the outcomes that I don't think people hear other places. Right. Another favorite thing that happened is not community engagement anymore, or culture and creativity, was people did not know what was happening to Autumn. They had no idea what was happening to Autumn. They had no idea that she had got kicked off and she was 3 short of being on the ballot. They had no idea. And people were so upset that were in the audience. They said, if I would have known that, I wouldn't have voted for him. I voted because I'm a Democrat and I voted for him. I voted for that person. And if it wasn't, I'm going to tell as many people as I can. And Autumn lost, but Autumn got 30% of a write-in vote. That is significant.
Yeah.
That is significant. And that is the reason why they had to kick off the ballot, because they knew if people knew about Autumn and who she was, they would vote for her. And they wouldn't vote for the other person whose nepotism streak is why they're even there. From their mom, then their dad, and now them are sitting in the NDJ seat. So anyway, I'm just going to get back off my soapbox. All right. So that's some of my... These are some of the moments that I remember from the show that you all remember. Last but not least, what projects do y'all have going on? Because this really is about y'all. I've talked for like 5 straight minutes. It's about y'all. What projects do you have going on?
One thing that's coming up real quick on Kumbh, the Kumbh Day of Kwanzaa, which is the 30th.
Yep.
I'm doing an online We Wear the Mask writing workshop.
Ooh.
And I'm just doing it for a donation, suggested donation, $10. But if you don't have it, still come and enjoy it with us. And we'll be talking about what masks meant to the ancestors, what metaphorical masks we wear, and how we can break through that in 2024.
I love it.
So
that's amazing.
Yeah, so
and
that's coming right up.
And on the day of Kumbh. I love that. That's fantastic.
So I'm switching gears, and I'm going to be in front of the camera for a short film series that I co-wrote with the wonderful Wallace McKelvey. Wallace and I have been working on this project for a few years, and we're finally going to start shooting it like this weekend.
Oh, it's coming up.
So
okay.
Hopefully weather and health for everybody stays positive. And then meeting next week with Narcisse to possibly do a project within the next season, I think.
Yeah.
And
Fantastic. Fantastic.
For myself, we are coming up on episode 50 of the Melanin Report.
What?
Yeah. We are coming up
already.
Wow. That's amazing.
Cooking with gas, baby.
Man.
Cooking with gas. Yeah. Coming up on episode 50 for that. So if you have not listened to it, I implore you to do so because Kimeka drops some gems daily.
Oh,
I mean, man.
Sometimes
I'm sitting there and she'll go on this very informative. I don't want to call it a rant. Just very informative, verbal essay. And I'm just like sitting back like, them cartoons when their mouth just drops on the floor, like, cause like, man, just the education, the part of it. So yes, the Melanin Report, download it right now, wherever you listen to your podcasts. Listen to the Black NewsBeat before that.
That's right.
And then working on the Spark. Scott Lamar retires in May, and we will be working on how we can capture my voice and essence and infuse that in, and
bring in a new audience, but also not alienate the current audience, and continue to make this thing grow. I kind of look at this as like kind of like a Jon Stewart, Trevor Noah type situation. Yes, it's not to that magnitude, but like you have this staple because Scott Lamar is like, Scott Lamar is WITF.
Yes, he really is.
Again, like filling those shoes, it's gonna take a couple years. Just working on that process and again capturing my voice and essence and
Wow. Well, this has been quite the show. I am again thankful for everything. I don't have anything else to say. It's hard to render me speechless, but yeah. But I just want to say on the Melanin Report, it's Marquise's fault because he goes, "What say you?" Well, Marquise. And I say the things, but yeah, it's been an honor being a part of that. Thank you for thinking of me. Like he does such a great job with this show. He has interviews, he has artists, he has so many. We had Didi Delgado on, which is one of my great internet friends, and she's doing Rent for Moms, which is a program that is to help Black mothers cover rent. Because they are one of the folks in the society who work the hardest and still earn the least amount of money. And so covering rent is really important. And watching him work and then getting to be a part of the show weekly, like as a staple, is such an honor. Thank you very, very much. I really appreciate you. Okay, well, we'll be right back. Please give it up for our writers. This has been a wonderful experience. And we'll be right back with Last Lap. Thank y'all. See you soon. Calling all members of the Greater Harrisburg community. We need you. We would love for you to join the YPOC and become a part of our leadership team. Would you like to join our board and get great perks and access in the community? Think about it and let us know. We'd love for you to contact us as soon as possible if you are ready. You can email us at info@ypoc-hbg.org. Calling all members of the Greater Harrisburg community. Yeah, we're back. I feel like, should I do like this? Okay. Sorry, I picked it up because I was really excited. I feel like, I'm living the dream. This has been a Jordan year for me. The one we didn't play, babe, maybe you can play it at the end. I got to interview so many amazing people this year just around doing different gigs. I got to interview Fat Joe, Mike Eric Dyson, My Song, and last but probably the greatest interview I got to do was interviewing the Attorney General of New York State. And so Letitia James. And so I'm thankful. I'm thankful for all of you. I'm thankful for everyone out there in internet land, in Harrisburg, in Dauphin County, people who watch, people who've been on the show from New York and Maryland, and all over the place, who've graced us with their presence. Thank y'all. Thank y'all for making the Black News Beat a thing. We appreciate y'all. Maria, what are we gonna sing? We're gonna sing something apparently.
Jackson 5 version.
Of what?
We wish you a happy Kwanzaa.
How's that go?
Is
that a good do?
We,
me. Okay. We got it. Just do like this? All right, I'm ready.
We wish you a happy Kwanzaa. We wish you a happy Kwanzaa. We wish you a happy Kwanzaa and a happy New Year.
Is it a happy New Year?
It would be.
It's a happy New Year. Listen, we're gonna sing for real because actually we both can sing. Allegedly, it's more her more than me, and it's our second take of the show. But Maria's a talent. And so we're gonna actually prepare something for you. That was a terrible teaser, but it was a teaser nonetheless. Thank you, Maria. Thank you, friends. As I say at the end of every show, clap for yourselves. Big up yourselves. You guys are wonderful folks. Love yourself. When folks don't tell you that you're doing an amazing job, you are doing an amazing job. You are contributing to this world, to this community, to the city, to the state, to the country. Peace literally in the Middle East. We are praying for that conflict, the Israel-Palestine conflict. We want a ceasefire now, and we are praying for people to care what happens to the children who are dying and the innocent civilians who have to live through a conflict due to age-old things that have nothing to do with them. So we want a ceasefire now. I'll see y'all in 2024 for our season 4 celebration. We love you guys. We'll see you soon. Thank you for watching. Good night.
Say hip hop do nothing, but this whole summit is brought to you by Jay-Z and hip hop. And so people want us to change the world and do everything in the world, but we make all the moves we can possibly make. So this is all brought to you by hip hop.
No, emancipation is critical. That's the ultimate point. Justice is a means toward that. And emancipation means that we can all be free from encumbrances, free from impediments, whether it's psychological, whether they're physical, whether they're even the schools that we attend that are deeply and profoundly underfunded, or communities that are hurting and in pain. So when I think about liberation and emancipation, I think about the ability to fully live an existence without having to worry about housing, food insecurity, or job, or the kind of schools you go to. So for me, UJC's work is extremely important.
I think everything that we do is connected to emancipation. You know, the justice work, you know, the more that we create justice and equity, we get closer to emancipation. So I deal with, my organization is called Until Freedom, and we deal with civil rights and mass incarceration. So we understand that civil rights is pretty much human rights, you know, and once everybody has human rights and equitable and equal human rights, then we move towards emancipation.
So I am in the criminal justice space. I've been focusing on making sure that individuals receive the same, their rights are protected in different areas and different spaces. As the Attorney General of the state of New York, I've been authorized to investigate all deaths as a result of police interaction, and we do that because there's no inherent conflict between my office and the police. We have a team that has been compiled, and we look into all investigations going back to the time that we were authorized, which is in the year 2021. And so we have brought indictments against individuals, and then we've issued reports with respect to the deaths of individuals at the hands of police officers, and that includes all law enforcement, corrections, police, etc.
Emancipation it sounds like an old word from back in the day, but it's very contemporary. It's very contemporaneous because Michelle Alexander taught us in her amazing work on the 13th Amendment that the modern scourge of mass incarceration is actually just a continuation of slavery. And it's something that was so obvious, but we really needed her to put it into those terms so we can look at it for what it is.
Yes.
And so while we incarcerate more black people per capita than South Africa during apartheid, while we have the highest prison population in the world, in the history of the world, we have to have this conversation about emancipation because while slavery is still legal in 49 states, right? Only Colorado has abolished slavery. And even there, it's been fits and starts trying to get rid of it, even though it's unconstitutional,
That's
right? It's still happening in prisons. It's been reporting on that lately. So emancipation to me means we need to reverse this disastrous failed social policy of mass incarceration.
You may shoot me with your words. You may cut me with your eyes. You may kill me with your hatefulness. But still, like life, I'll rise.
I refuse to accept the view that mankind is so tragically bound to the starless midnight of racism.